Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Let's use good patriotism instead of bad patriotism when watching this video of mine. Alright, yes, and there is such a thing as good patriotism and there is such a thing as bad patriotism. And good patriotism here would be this. We should not allow ourselves to be delusional. Because if we are too patriotic, it's more like a pathos-inflicted sensation more than a logos. So when you're patriotic, you tend to leave your senses take over, not your brain. That's a bad patriotism. The good patriotism is to love your country, the motherland, the fatherland in this case, and use your brain and analyze things still objectively and still remain in the realm of reality. What am I going to talk about here? I'm going to talk about the F-16, which are not the best airplanes in the world. Now this is where you have to stop the bad patriotism and you have to accept that. If you can't accept that, then you have to go. Why? Because that means you will not be able to view this video and accept reality. What's reality? Facts and evidence. So, what's going on here? We have Zelensky, and Zelensky shows up and says, give us the F-16s, and once we have the F-16s, the Russians will lose. That is, F-16s are the best. The Russians, like, they don't have anything that could, do anything about F-16s flying on the Ukrainian skies. Now, okay, that's the statement. That's how it usually, you make a statement over there, the thesis statement, and then you bring evidence to support your thesis statement, or simply your affirmation. So let's see if Zelensky will provide us with the evidence to support this claim. Ukrainska Pravda. Zelensky says that when Ukrainian pilots switch to F-16s, Russia will have no chance in the sky. So that means directly, when we're going to fly F-16s, the Russian Sukhoi 35s and MiG-29s will have no chance. Russia doesn't have only MiG-29s, but MiG-31 is an interceptor. Most likely is not a fighter jet in order to, multi-purpose and so on. But you got the MiG-29 and you got the MiG, you got the Sukhoi 35. I'm not talking about the Sukhoi 52 or whatever they bring. No, I'm not talking about that one. So when this guy makes this claim, Zelensky, I would like to see the evidence. And the evidence is based on, the airplane's capabilities. When it was designed, what capabilities it has versus what Sukhoi or the Russian airplanes don't have. Do you think that he's going to provide that? No. Now, I know that a lot of you, or some of you, might think, well, I checked it out and I'm telling you, F-16s in a dogfight will win against the Flanker 35 or the MiG-29. Well, who conducted those? Was there a Russian pilot and an American pilot, the best ones? No, there was no such a thing. It was done over some skies in the United States of America, not with the Sukhoi 35, by some Americans and so on. And they decided that obviously ours is better. Now, are they so good, let's put it this way, so good that the other guys will have no chance? And don't get only a dogfight. Get a land-to-air missile coming towards, or a rocket coming towards, not a rocket missile, coming towards F-16. Do you think that F-16 is invincible? I don't think so. I think no airplane is invincible. So Zelensky says that. Let's see what evidence he brings. Maybe he brings some evidence, which he doesn't, because that's why I make this video, right? When Ukrainian pilots fly F-16 multi-purpose fighters, there will be no chance for the Russians in the Ukrainian skies. That tells me he thinks that F-16s are the best. Okay, well, let's see the evidence. Shall we? Let's start with the General Dynamics F-16 Fighter Falcon. This one right here. All right, I'm going to start with the obvious thing. When was it designed? First flight, right? conducted on January 20th, 1974. It's 49 years old, my friends. 49 years old. Now, you know, in technology, that is like 3,000 years ago. All right, and then you have it on the 2nd of February, 49, official. So they tried the first one, like a lot of people tried the moon landing one time, and then if it's successful, we're going to show it to the public. Anyway, an introduction was in 78, 44 years ago in service. So this is, I'm sorry, an old plane. You see here, produced 1973, 2017, and 2019 to present. So I'm sorry, this is an old garbage plane. Or you can say, well, Emil, you're bad here, because, you know, it was updated, upgraded, refurbished, jerked off, and all that. Okay, I got that, but still, the frame is the same shit. And move on. Technology was added, and so on. It's a good plane still, even though it was built, 50 years ago. Let's go on to compare it with this one, the weak one. MiG-29. MiG-29, first flight in 1977. Oh, okay, so this one was what? In 74, the other one, and, you know, designed in 73, and this guy showed up, you know, in 77. So it's still newer than the best plane in the world right here. Now you can say, well, we were so far ahead that these guys did not know what they were doing, the MiGs. Therefore, you know, it's like, you know, comparing, I don't know, Kalashnikovs with pocket knives. Come on. Well, I don't buy that one. That's why I told you, leave aside the stupid patriotism and enhance and put forward the good patriotism. Why? Because if you ignore reality, you're going to be delusional, and when you're going to plan, you're going to fail. Because you're going to say, they have bad planes, we have the best planes. And you send the pilots up there, they're going to be shut down, and you're going to say, what happened? Ask Emil, and you're going to, or watch this video. And let's go to the next one. Sukhoi 35. Now, Sukhoi 35 is even newer than the flanker right here. So let's see. So this one, first flight, it was in 88. So more than 10 years before this one had its first flight. Correct? I would say so. 74 versus 88. So this one must be better than them, unless the Russians don't know what they're doing and they're still backwards somehow. You can say, well, it doesn't mean if it's newer it's better. That's correct. But there's no evidence that this is worse than the other one. Do you have evidence? Concrete evidence? And even if this right here is better, how much better? Because this guy right here, we look at this word, and I'm going to focus on these two one. No chance. Do you think that the difference between this and this and this results to this? No chance. I don't believe that. I don't think so. I mean, unless I want to be an, you know, ideologue and a very bad patriot. So, let's see if they get any evidence here. Okay, although the enemy still has a significant technical advantage. Oh my God, really? In aircraft, from the very first day of the full-scale invasion, our pilots have an obvious advantage in morality and skill. How do you measure that? Again, this is just an ideologue. This is a guy who creates fantasies and, how do you call that, images. Propaganda, that's all it is. We have an obvious. Well, it's obvious, should be obvious for idiot Emil, and I don't see it. Oh, because you're idiot, you answer your own question, right? Right. All right, obvious. Based on what? Where did you get this from? Morality. How did you measure that? And skill. Again, how did you measure that? You have a secret skill somewhere, skill set? The Russians are backward? What's going on here? They save Ukrainians from Russian terrorists with bombs, missiles, and murderous drones. Okay, yours are not murderous drones, yours are peacekeeping and peace-delivering drones. How stupid. When Ukrainian pilots fly the F-16s, freedom will become insurmountable. Okay, and there will be no chance for the terrorist state in our skies. Okay, the president thanked the heroic Ukrainian pilots and posted a video of the fundraising platform United Tralala Lululu. The video shows Tralala equipment, MiG-29 versus MiG-16. There you go, Soviet era jet review. Do you think these guys are going to show you what it is? This is a propaganda thing. But anyway, for example, the MiG is not adapted to deal with small targets such as Shahid. This is not what Zelensky said. This is what these guys try to cover. For example, the MiG-29 is not adapted to deal with small targets such as Shahid drones or cruise missiles, since the avionics and radar systems of the aircraft are outdated. That's what you say. Okay, that's your point. Good. The F-16s are therefore critical for Ukrainians, both for offensive strategy and for intercepting missiles and cruise bombs outside Ukrainian territory, potentially saving the lives of thousands of civilians. This is without any evidence. They just say stuff here. I can say, for example, F-16s is not adapted to deal with the Russian missiles. That's all. I can say that. I don't have to provide anything, and that's true. I mean, maybe they are poorly. Let's put it poorly. If I put poorly, that would mean they sometimes deal and sometimes don't. Right? And then again, I can say the the MiGs are therefore critical for Russians' both offensive strategy. This is saying stuff. Tell me then, what do you mean? What avionics and radar system? What F-2020 RD/25 avionics and radar system is bad? Give me some. Anyway, earlier, okay, these guys are telling us here how fantastic. The youngest aircraft in the Air Force is the 1991 Sukhoi 27. Ukraine also depends on the availability of spare parts for Soviet aircraft that it cannot produce. Okay, so you can put Sukhoi 27 with Sukhoi 35. But even if we ignore head-to-head, right, even that, because it's not going to be like dogfights. I think when one Ukrainian F-16 is going to go up, if it reaches the war zone, it has to deal with missiles coming not necessarily from Sukhois or MiGs, but from the ground. How do you think that the thing is just invulnerable? No. I want them to have them for that exact reason. I want them. Remember in 1999 when NATO Defense Organization bombarded the free, independent, sovereign country of Yugoslavia without being attacked by their defensive organization. Remember that the Serbs downed a stealth bomber, American? The stealth that could not, the invisible one. Ooh. Remember that one? And they were dancing on it, and then the Chinese took it, supposedly, bought it and bought parts from it. Remember that one? Yeah. How was that? And you know how they shot him down? That stealth one with like Second World War anti-aircraft battery. I think it was built in 1961. So 1961 shot down a 1990 stealth bomber. All right, but hey, there's 61, 90 something, the most and they didn't send the stealth fighters, bombers anymore over Yugoslavia after that because it was too embarrassing. So yes, send the F-16s because F-16s work with other, in Iraq, in Syria, maybe in Libya. They're over there with all those guys with rusty shit. Let's see how they're gonna perform with something that can smack back. I wonder. So the Patriots guys should just wait, right? Don't be mad, just wait. And I can put it right here on this video that F-16s will be shot down and they will not have the supremacy of the sky. They will have a lot of problems as the Russians will have. But to say they have no chance, right here I tell you, I don't believe that squat. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.